In the fourth quarter of 2007 and the first quarter of 2008, Audacia, ALLSEAS dynamically positioned pipe-lay vessel, completed her first project: the installation of the L9 pipeline for Shell UK Limited in the Dutch continental shelf off the southern North Sea. The 16-inch gas export pipeline with a double 2-inch chemical injection piggyback pipeline is 19.5 kilometers long and connects the L9 FA and FB monotowers with the L9 FF platform. Water depths along the pipe-lay route range from 21 and 25 meters. As the new pipeline crossed an existing one, mattresses had to be installed on top of the existing pipeline for protection. In the third quarter of 2007, Calamity Jane, ALLSEAS dynamically positioned trenching support and subsea installation vessel, put the protection mattresses in place. After installation, an as-installed survey was done to make sure the mattresses were installed correctly. A pre-lay survey was done along the designated pipeline route to examine the seabed for obstructions and debris. No obstacles were found. So, after the mattresses were put in place, pipe laying by Audacia could begin as scheduled. The Audacia's stinger progressively guides the pipeline in the shape of an S to its designated place on the seabed. As soon as the pipeline is firmly installed on the seabed, post-lay survey is done to make sure that all is properly installed, within the specified corridor according to the project specifications. Here's an animation overview of the production process on board Audacia. Relief crew members for Audacia are flown in by helicopter. Survival gear is taken off, and the new arrivals are given a thorough safety introduction. Daily progress meetings are held on board every morning with the captain, the superintendent, and the client representative, assisted by the chief QC inspector, field engineer, and safety officer, in which the safety on board the vessel, the production progress, the survey support, and the weather outlook are discussed. Pipe carriers regularly deliver a fresh supply of both 16 and 2-inch pipes. The first batch of pipes for the Shell L09 project was already loaded during the mobilization in Rotterdam. The new supply is transferred by cranes. Lowered onto the cradles. Depending on their characteristics, a given number of 12-meter pipe joints can be stored in Audacia's holds. Or directly into the bead stall. Production starts in the bead stall, where the pipe number is checked and registered. The pipe ends are beveled in order to adapt the special shape of the weld geometries to the selected welding procedures. After beveling, the pipe ends are cleared and the ground clamp for the welding machine is attached. The pipe ends are preheated, which will result in a better welding performance. Once the heating is completed, the pipe section is ready for welding and is moved to the line-up station. In the line-up station, the backing shoes are cleaned and the pipe is lined up. Waiting to be joined to the pipeline in the main firing line. In the firing line, Phoenix, the automated welding system developed in-house by ALLSEAS, is brought in position and makes the first welding pass, also known as the root weld or the bead. As soon as a station has completed the job, the ready signal is given, changing the color of the button on the bridge from red into green, ready. When all stations are ready, a bell loudly rings in the firing line, and the Audacia pulls 12 meters forward. The pipeline is kept in position by 3 175-ton tensioners, which are clamped on the pipeline to keep a steady tension while the pipe is lowered onto the seabed. To fill up the complete weld, more welding passes are needed, and the pipe section is moved to the next welding station. For this project, ALLSEAS used its Phoenix Gold welding system, consisting of 2 automatic welding bugs at each station. For bigger pipe sizes, Phoenix Gold enables 2 welding passes in a run instead of 1, which considerably reduces welding time. At the next stations, the hot pass and fillers are welded using Phoenix Gold automatic welding. After the filler welds, the welding is completed with an end cap weld. For this project, a double 2-inch chemical injection piggyback pipeline is combined with the main line, using a spoiler profile with fin. Audacia holds 2 piggyback firing lines where additional pipelines can be welded. The pipes are pre-beveled. And transported to the piggyback firing line. Parallel to the production of the 16-inch pipeline in the main firing line, the 2 2-inch chemical injection pipelines go through similar stages in the piggyback firing line. Next, the pipes are finished and lined up with an external line-up clamp. The pipe then gets preheated. The piggyback bead weld is done using TIG welding. The fillers and end cap welds are laid using stick rod welding. After grinding, the pipes reach the non-destructive testing station. Upon completion, all welds, or field joints as they are called, are quality tested and approved. The automatic ultrasonic testing unit, a non-destructive testing method that uses sound waves and clean water, determines the quality of the weld. In the main firing line, the 16-inch pipes are moved to the field joint coating station, where the field joint is given a layer of coating for corrosion protection. First, the section is grinded. Then preheated. On the L9 project, heat shrink sleeves were used. A bitumen sheet is wrapped around the joint and heated, causing it to shrink tightly and protect the joint. After application, the coating is cooled and the holiday detection performed. Anodes protect the main pipeline against corrosion. The cables of the anode are pin-braced to the piggyback line as well. Just before leaving the firing line, the chemical injection pipelines are combined with the main line. The double 2-inch pipes are piggybacked using a spoiler profile with fin. The complete spoiler profile is then strapped to the pipelines, creating a self-burial system. Burial protects the pipeline against external influences. The moment the spoilers are in place, Audacia makes a pull, and the main and piggyback pipelines exit the firing line, guided by a steel structure called the stinger. The stinger progressively guides the pipeline in the shape of an S to its designated place on the seabed, the so-called S-lay. After installation, the pipeline is flooded via a subsea connection on the 16-inch startup head. During the flooding operation, 4 pigs are launched that move through the pipeline to clean the inside. At the end of the line, the pig receiver collects all pigs. After the pipeline is flooded, divers remove the pipeline heads and start making tie-ins to the platform. At the L09FB monotower, the installation is continued with a dummy lay-through spool. After the pipeline is installed, the inline spool piece is removed in order to tie in the L9FB monotower. The dummy spool is 69 meters long and consists of 2 inline flange assemblies with 5 regular pipe joints in between. Pipes are made to fit the prefabricated flange assembly. The edges are cleaned, beveled, and echographically tested before the flange assembly is lined up and fitted in as a normal pipe joint. Parallel to the welding of the dummy lay-through spool in the main line, a piggyback dummy spool piece is installed in the piggyback line. The flange connection is protected by a roller guide to allow smooth passage over the stinger. When the flange assembly approaches the tensioners need to be opened one by one, while the other 2 stay operational. After the first has passed all tensioners, the second flange assembly will go through and exit the firing line, guided by the stinger.